everything that I think about training and fitness and teaching movement is really hinged on two things. One is continual progress, and that you should always be able to continually progress from lower skill, lower level movements into higher and higher level movements, and they should build on each other. And the other is congruency between movements. I am a big believer that everything can train everything else as long as you do it correctly and you focus on the patterns and the positions and not look at them as individual movements. So every movement should have carryover to other movements. Now, I'm talking about this all from a fitness perspective, which is what my forte is. CrossFit and fitness is like about being well-rounded. It's not about having, peak performance in any one specific area. When it comes to the content that I post on the internet, I get a lot of comments from people that say like, oh, well, the pros don't do it this way, or that's not the best way to do this, or whatever. Let's take the squat, for example. There's a way that you can do a back squat that is called a low bar squat, where you can lift more weight. But I always teach and harp on the high bar back squat and holding a really strong upright position. And I want that squat to be something that your squat will carry over to your snatch. It'll carry over to your wall ball shot. I'm a big believer of full grip on the front squat and in the rack position. And that's because of the carryover it has to the thruster, to the wall ball shot again, and to like being able to cycle the barbell and shoulder overhead stuff. Now, is that the way that every professional weightlifter does it? No. Most of them have a fingertip grip. Does that mean that what they're doing is wrong? No. But it also doesn't mean what I'm teaching is wrong. I'm just teaching it from the context of I want there to be carryover and I want there to be continual progression. Now, the other thing is being able to continually progress. So I think that a lot of people they get stuck in their progression, not because they're not trying to do the movement correctly, but because they either have not built prerequisites. So, they want to learn how to do toes to bar, but they don't have a strict pull-up yet. When I started CrossFit, I was told strict before kipping, and I wanted to learn the muscle up. I wanted to get up on the rings like everybody else. And my coach at the time would not let me or teach me to do a kipping muscle up before I accomplished a strict one. And so I got my strict muscle up, I worked on drills, I worked on the strength to do that movement, which had a ton of carryover to everything else, the chest to bar pull up, just having a strong shoulder girdle, and strong healthy shoulders. And then once I got my first strict muscle up, it was like I had sets of kipping within a week or two. So because I built that in the correct order, then I was able to continually progress. So everything I teach in my community and online is like with the idea of continual progression. The other reason that I think people get stuck in their progress is because they lack flexibility, and they're lacking range of motion that is preventing them from doing the technique correctly. And a lot of, especially gymnastics, a lot of the techniques, they require a lot of mobility to get into, and it is a skill, so it takes practice, it's neurological. If you are missing range of motion, let's say at the front of the kip swing, and you're trying to do toes to bar, your body will just get it done in the way that it is able to do it. And the more reps you do in that less than ideal pattern and that less than ideal range of motion, it will continue to strengthen a shortened range of motion, and it will continue to reinforce a bad pattern. When it comes to fixing those issues, a lot of times it takes movement prep with like a lot of mobility work and doing the right drills to open up the positions that you're weak in, and then practicing and training those new ranges of motion, and being very diligent about not just when the clock comes on and it's time for your Metcon to just let all of your practice go out the window. So those are the two things that I think about when it comes to teaching movement. That's kind of what a lot of my content is hinged on, is teaching that technique with those two things in mind: constant progression and the ability for everything to have carryover to everything else. So if you want to learn more about how I do this and the actual processes and the programs that I use with people in my community, check out Technique Team. I'll leave a link in the description where you can learn more about my community and my online program. And I would love to work with you on there to help you constantly progress and not hit plateaus. So check out Technique Team. YouTube will recommend another video. If you like this one, check out the next one. Leave me a comment if you have any questions about the way that I teach or anything that I talked about in this video, and I'll see you in the next one.